It's a new day, it's a new morning to start a fresh, timely topic. Everyone, welcome to the Listen Up. And for today, we're gonna talk about genes. Let's answer and discuss the role of genes in heredity and the effects of genes in our environment. I invited three college students and currently studying at the San Mateo Municipal College, first year of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Marketing Management. They are our future manager. Please welcome Miss Soledad,
Hi!
Miss Rosella,
Hi!
and Mr. Esparta. Let's know and listen to their different opinions and ideas. I am Leonisa Rosella, your host, and this is Listen Up. Hi, future mothers. Yes, welcome to this program. This is the Listen Up. To start with, you know what, guys? The role of genes is a basic unit of heredity in a living organism that comes from our parents that we may inherit to our physical traits and the effects of genes in the environment that some people may develop a disease after being exposed to something in the environment while others may not. And now, let's talk about first the roles of genes in heredity. My question is, what genes control a trait?
The gene responsible for the expression of a trait is called the dominant allele.
Next, what is the common genetic disorders? The genetic disorders are Down syndrome, sickle cell disease, and phenylketonuria or PKU, and also hemophilia. Why genes are important in heredity?
Genes are absolutely important. They are the basic units of heredity that are located in the chromosomes that are made up of DNA that is responsible for transferring traits from parents to offspring.
And now, let's go to the second set of questions. First, what is heredity? Heredity is contained or within the genes located in the chromosomes of each cells. Inherited traits can be determined by one or by many genes, and a single gene can influence more than one trait. Next, how do genes affect hair color?
The best studied hair color gene in human is called MC1R. These genes provide protein called the melanocortin 1 receptor, which is involved in the pathway that produces melanin.
Next, how do genes pass on to offspring from parents?
When the sperm from the father and the egg from the mother fuse, a sperm and an egg each contain one set of 23 chromosomes. It means that the offspring inherit the genes of the parents.
Now, for the third set of questions. First, how is an allele related to a gene?
A gene is a portion of DNA that determines a certain traits. Allele is responsible for the variations in which given trait can be expressed.
What is alleles? Alleles is the pair of genes that exercise such as parallel control over the same traits. And for the last question, for the roles of genes in heredity. Is the relationship between genes and heredity does matter?
Yes, because heredity focuses on a specific mechanism by which traits are passed from one generation to the next via genes. Genes are responsible for the specific traits of an individual.
And now, let's talk about the effects of genes in our environment. The first question is, what is gene mutation? Gene mutation may be defined as being changes in the nitrogenous base sequence of a molecule DNA When the base sequence of DNA is altered, the amino acid sequence of the polypeptide for which it codes will likewise be altered. The second question is, how do genes and environment interact?
For being specific, the genes of our parents influence everything from height, eye color, and other physical characteristics that are good for the sight of the other. If we have good genetics, other people will give so much attention and affection, which may affect our behavior.
Next, how does the environment affect genes?
Positive experiences, such as exposure to rich learning opportunities, and negative influences, such as malnutrition or environmental toxins, can change the chemistry that encodes genes in brain cells. A change that can be temporary or permanent. This process is called epigenetic modification.
For the second set of questions, how do the genes and environment affect the behavior of an individual?
The environment changes genes, either their DNA sequence or their activity level. It can change the proteins that are made from genes, which in turn affects traits.
Next, can genes be changed by environment?
While genetic changes can alter which protein is made, epigenetic changes affect gene expression to turn genes and off. Since our environment and behavior, such as diet and exercises, can result in epigenetic changes, it is easy to see the connection between your genes and your behaviors and environment.
Next, what are the effects of the genes in our environment? Science tells us that among the genes and surroundings form human development, despite some wrong impression that genes are set in stone. Studies indicates the early studies can decide how genes are became on and off, or even whether or not a few are expressed at all. For the last set of questions, is the behavior of an individual can be passed down through genes or learned from the environment?
A baby cannot inherit their parents' behavior because they were born innocent and uninformed of the world. But at some point, factors like the physical and the mental appearance of a person can be passed by genes or heredity. A person's behavior is learned in the environment through socialization. Who you are always with every day is more likely to get the behavior she or he has. So you get the behavior that your parents have because they are the one you always get along with.
Next is, it is a polymer made up of a repeating chemical unit known as nucleotide. It's DNA. For the last, how does genes and environment affect the development of a child?
Gene-environment interaction. The environment a child exposed to both in uterus and throughout the rest of his or her life can also impact how genes are expressed.
Yes, guys. Thank you for your ideas that brings brightness to all of these questions. You have really great opinion about it, so thank you very much for that. And it's been a pleasure being with all of you today. Thank you and have a great day. And again, I am Leonisa Rosella, your host. This is Listen Up